you looking for the perfect controller sensitivity? Well, look no further. I'm going to teach you how to find your own sensitivity rather than just copy somebody else's. This is going to be the process of looking at what the difference between expo and linear, basic and advanced settings, boost, look dampening, dead zones, and all that jargon. We're going to go into it and look at everything in fine detail and show you exactly what you need to do to find your own settings. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Also, I do a giveaway of up to $1,000 over on my Twitch. We're also going to be doing giveaways for GPUs, CPUs, PS5s, Xboxes, all sorts of stuff. Those are going to be the grand prizes, but you have to be over on my Twitch, TommieLSP, Twitch TV. Go check it out. I also record these videos live on Twitch. That's why you're going to see some eggplants popping on my face. You get to do that to earn points and enter the giveaway. So go check me out there, and let's get right into the video. All right, so to start, let's just get it right out of the way. I did a video on this already, changing your controller layout to generic. I did a whole analysis with hundreds of tests to test whether there's any input delay on each of these different choices. All of these things are personal preference for the most part. You have to pick your region and all that. This, you kind of just copy me for the most part and do your own thing. Same thing with this stuff. This is all kind of personal preference. Your HUD scale, I would recommend going a little lower. And actually, I'm going to be testing to see if that actually helps FPS. Gyro, just turn this off. It's horrible. I'm going to test these settings eventually too. I'm fiddling around with these settings too to see if they affect controller. Sound settings, same thing. Just check these out. Do what you need to, because your input devices are all going to be different. Your keybinds, I'm not the guy to ask about this. Go to Jarian for keyboard control binds. All this stuff is more personal preference too. So let's just get to this. This is going to be the main thing. Controller options. Controller auto run. I think it's an important thing to have, especially if you're streaming. Build immediately on. By this point, you should be using a dedicated button to edit. It's a little harder if you don't have paddles like me or you don't play claw. Slide hold time. There's a little bit of variance here. You can do whatever you want, really. I like it a little higher than some people because I don't want to accidentally slide. Reset camera. I'm going to be testing this eventually, see if it does anything, but pitch is what I've been keeping it on. Reset camera at 0.1, vibration off because it messes with your aim. I've also tested basic settings here. I'm going to just say it right now. Basic settings aren't really what you want to do. If you're using basic settings, what you're going to want to do is go down and copy from basic, and it's going to transfer your settings to the advanced settings. And you could stick with that for a while, but you're going to want to actually switch it back to advanced mode. Build and edit, we're going to get to later. This is probably your most important sensitivity in the game. You want to have a good look sensitivity. Gives you good aim while hip firing, and also enough speed to turn around fast. There's a whole video I did on the look curve, so go check that out. You basically want to find your flick speed first. So what you're going to do is, I'm going to put these to 0. We're going to remember those are 15. I'm going to go run over to this section here. So I'm going to pick up the combat shotgun because it's the best shotgun to test your speed with. So you're just going to walk down this little thing. Use the code's on the screen right now. This is my own map. I saw that. Got it. So you're going to use these tight crosshairs, and it's going to give you more accuracy. And basically it's going to start on the left, and you're going to go down and test. So I'm used to my 15% boost, so my muscle memory is off with this. If I go in here and add 15 to both of these, so we'll do 55, 51, and we're going to go down that again, and I'm going to see how that feels. So that felt a little better. And this is kind of, if you're not used to boosts, this is how you're going to want to do it. You're going to want to go to this and then just find out what your flick speed is. Just keep going through until you feel like testing out speeds until you could hit most of your shots, if not all your shots. And that's going to be where you find your speed. So just move that around and then take a mark down what you found. Like if you're at 55 and 51 like me, mark that down and then go over to this spot here, which is going to be my SMG tracking station. Now what you're going to want to do is try hip firing, and your hip fire might be pretty good, but try tracking and seeing how well you can do with this high sense that you're rocking. Go to your look horizontal speed and mess around with this until you could get a good speed. Once you figure that out, so I know where mine is comfortable right now, 36 and 40. So that's where I'm comfortable. And that I started at this one at 55. So I'm going to basically add that 15 back to this. So you might only need 5 boosts to get to a comfortable spot. You might even only need 1%. Maybe you don't even need any and you're going to be perfectly comfortable. I like the boost though for this reason. So when this doesn't activate until you have your stick 93% of the way or any direction, and it goes instantly. The second I go all the way, it does the boost. If I turn the boost off, my horizontal speed now is going to be a lot slower. That's 36%, and that's as fast as I'm going to be able to go. So if I go like this, it takes me that long to get all the way to the side. Now, if I add that boost, once I hit that 93% of my stick, because there is a 7% dead zone on the end of your stick, and I proved that in another video on dead zones. So now I'm getting 15% more speed on my turns, and that's still manageable for me. I don't know if like everybody feels that way, but a lot of people complain about it. But honestly, for me, it feels really manageable. Gonna hit my flicks still about like at least 70% of the time. That's how I got to my setting. You're gonna be good. So if you want to try this high boost, you could also start off with a 0.20. G Money does the small boost, and that's pretty good. There's also the on one uses the basic settings actually, but those I've proved that give you less FPS and are going to give you input delay. So I would convert them like I showed you earlier. So, and his boosts are actually around the same as mine. His has a very similar sense, but on Expo. So the same theory goes with the advanced with the ADS. Basically, what you're going to do now is ADS when you're shooting. So I like to usually how I go about this is I'm going to do a quick pull right near the person. It's probably like leftovers from when L2 spamming was a thing, when you'd get aim assist on things and it would pull to them. When you like pulled here, it would pull to them. But what I do is I'll flick to the near the area and then adjust. And you kind of got to see what your speed is and what you can keep up with, and come to your same thing. So then you want to adjust these settings. This isn't going to be for your boost. We're going to basically ignore the boosts right now. So I'm going to turn off my boosts. So it's not really affecting my aim since I'm not like tracking with like this. I'm not ADSing and flicking to them and then ADSing when I'm on them to get the accuracy. And the final step for your ADS aim is over here. You basically want to try flicking to the character and making sure you can catch up to them. I could pretty much pull with them pretty easily. So you're going to want to get closer too. It's not always going to be the case that they're that far away. So, and the closer you are, the faster they're going to move away from you. So that's pretty fast. I'm still actually able to keep up with them a little. What I actually am going to do is lower my sense just a little bit and then add a boost. That, and then we're going to put this up to 14. And we're going to put this up to 0.20. There's a theory going around that I'm going to test on whether the ADS turning boost time actually gives you a better aim assist and better input lag. So now I'm a little slower, but I can still catch up to them. Now, where this is going to really come in handy is when they're really far ahead and you need to catch up. So like, but you don't want to stop ADSing. The best example of this would be when there's a gliding thing. I don't have the gliding thing set up in here, unfortunately. I'm going to eventually add that again. It was kind of bugged, but you're going to want to mess around with that until you find your perfect sense. There used to be a dedicated scope sensitivity. What the ADS boost also does is gives you a secret scope sensitivity. This is actually the reason I started using boost to begin with, because I realized the scope sensitivity was gone and I liked going fast with this thing. So now I could take it and go really fast with it across the screen and catch up to my target. So go like that, and now I could catch up to him when in the past I wouldn't have been able to. And you want to go a little faster. The idea isn't to track with your boost. The idea is to catch up to something fast with your boost. The next part we're going to look at is your build sensitivity. Because I have boosts, I like to keep it pretty high. So when you're boxing up, if you don't have boost, you're going to go like this to box. But when you have a boost, you're actually multiplying times your boost and you can spin like this. But the problem is if you try to do a 90 and you hit too far, you're going to lose control. So what you got to do is get yourself a little buffer zone. So having a higher build and edit makes it so you're not going to accidentally hit this when you don't want it, because you're going to know to do a 90, you're going to do that, and you're not going to accidentally hit this and get this like crazy boost and be spun around by accident. You could add a turning ramp boost. If we put 0.20 seconds, it's going to take 0.20 seconds to get from 9% to 23%, because these two add together. So basically that 14% is going to take 0.2 seconds to get to it. So instead of being instant speed, it's going to be a gradual speed. The look dampening basically is this. So if I move the stick, my sense is going to start out slow for a whole second. So it's not going to get that instant speed, but it's inconsistent. So sometimes when I go like this, it'll turn on and off. I'll feel it. It doesn't turn back on. But then like if I reset it, then I can feel it kick on. I did a whole video on dead zones, but we'll go do a quick rundown of this. So when you're moving with your left stick, you don't want to accidentally like walk off the edge if you accidentally tap it. So I like to have it pretty high so I don't do that. And you only get like three speeds: medium walk and then sprint. And then obviously you do the full sprint, but that's not part of your whole movement thing. And then for my right stick, a lot of people will say go to 5%, and then once you get stick drift, bump it up. I disagree with that, because it actually is going to change your whole entire sensitivity if you do that. So check out my video. So it's picking up slightly above 5, like 7 or 8 is good. You could even go 10 if you've been using it, or even 20 if that's what you're used to. But don't keep changing your dead zones. It's not good. I proved that in another video. Another thing I proved in another video is this is the ideal setting to have to improve your input delay and your overall FPS in game. This should work on across all consoles, off with 100% and 100%. I did rigorous testing, seeing what happens when you do each setting, and this one got by far had the most consistent and the highest frames. So that's about it. The vehicles and tank settings, don't even worry about them, just turn them on, and then that's the normal settings. And that's it for your controller setting. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. The channel's been growing really good lately, and that's it for this video. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of videos during this season, hopefully. Please let me know in the comments below what you want to see and what like myths you want me to test out. I'm going to do a lot of controller studies. I'm going to test how mouse sensitivity affects controller sensitivity. But until then, watch this win I got. I clutched up a squad win with some high kills. So see how that went, and I'll see you guys in the next video. What? No. I'm not going there.
I'm already at Moody.
I can't get there. Be there in like 3 years. Try to get to the Bastion pretty quickly, aimbot, because we're here.
Fuck me, fuck me, fuck me. I'm dipping.
Dude, that went through his fucking head. Oh god, I gotta go. 120 on one.
Clock number 1. Clock number 1.
Ah! He scared me. Oh my god, the fucking AI just fucking waited for me to turn the corner. Hit me for 199. Dead. That's not good.
Hey, why did you get?
Mike, you died to 2 AIs. Those guys here.
These are real players.
Killed one.
Don't finish me.
Unbelievable.
the other dude killed himself.
Oh. Mikey, I got.
No, he's in my box. Damn it.
What happened to you? Where'd you go? They just flew away. Like 20.
Like in -3 FPS right now. Bro, I'm trying to get over and my FPS is at 30. I'm on a demon too.
How many are left? Just the one? What a fucking nightmare that match was. Little 13 bomber Rooney. Let's fucking go.